almost ready. We can do a few touch-ups, but right now we want to focus on getting that second giraffe in here. I am definitely going to go up to the top here. Actually, no. I'm going to make a copy of my giraffe. I'm not going to copy the shadow. I just want to copy the giraffe and do Command J, and I'm going to put that giraffe up above and type in the word giraffe 2. Okay, re-snap that clip mask. And now with my second copy, I'm going to pick up my copy and move it over. There's two things I obviously have to do to this. I have to transform the size, but I also have to flip it. So I'm going to go up to Edit, Transform, and Flip horizontally. I'm going to do Command T, holding Option Shift, or I'm going to distort this poor giraffe. Okay, and he is in the background, so I'm going to make him smaller. This is going to show real perspective. That line is still coming up, so I'm going to go back into my layer mask with my black on and just clean up that edge. So just pay attention to those little, oops, I kind of took away some of my, oh boy, Command Z, let's undo. Let's try that again. My brush was on too hazy of a setting, and it was too big. So definitely need to be careful of that. So I am going to get rid of that line, but this time I'm going to go to my hard round. I'm going to up my opacity, make my brush smaller. I am using the white instead of the black. That's what happened. Okay. All right, good. That looks nice. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to make another, actually, let's do the adjustment first. So let's go back to that brightness and contrast. And let's go ahead and darken this one just a little bit more because it's actually in the background. And clip that into that giraffe. And I want to make sure that you know that your light is coming from this direction. So of course that makes sense that this part of the giraffe, opposite, is going to be brighter than the back of the giraffe. So we want to, in our layer mask for our brightness and contrast, we want to come in here and lighten up that giraffe. Okay. So he looks a little bit brighter. Not too much though, because he's still in the back. And you can switch to a hazy brush if you want to, so you can get kind of a softer edge. And if you want to zoom in, that would be a great idea. Okay. Keeping that back part darker. All right, good. We're going to go back to our original copy, and we're going to make another layer, and we're going to bring it up. Again, clip masking that tool, that adjustment. We're going to Command T and hold Command, and this time we're going to actually put it this way. Why? Because the light is coming from our right, so the cast shadow would be to our left. Make sure that you lay it flatter so it doesn't look like it's popping off of the grass, and then line it up as best you can with the feet. Okay, this one, because it's farther in the background, we don't have to worry so much about the alignment as much as the one in the front. All right, and I'm realizing that this needs to be below, so I'm going to actually put that behind. I'm going to lock it and grab my gradient tool and add that gradient. It's already set, so I don't have to worry. There's a lot of gray in there. We want to try to, yeah, there we go. get some of that black. So the longer you stretch it out, you'll have a wider range of values. Unlock, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and give it a little bit more definition. Okay, lower the opacity. Okay, good. All right. You can mess around with the brightness and darkness or contrast of the mountains if you wanted to. That might be very helpful if you have more of a shadow on the lower parts of the mountain. I am going to, before I do anything though, I am going to hold shift and select all of these and make a folder and call it giraffes. So that I can keep them organized. And I'm going to create an adjustment layer for this one as well, clipping it into the mountains, and then I can play around with some of the settings if you want to create more of a contrast. Okay, and then if you want to take away some of that, you can use your layer mask again to kind of brighten up some of the areas of the sky. So this side would be a little brighter. This might actually be a lot more brighter because the sun is reaching over the mountains, so I'm going to keep that brighter. All right. That looks good. I'm a little worried about this right here, so I'm going to go in and check that out and see what's going on. Looks like it might be coming from the landscape below. So let me clean that up. Yes, okay. That looks nice. That's the beauty of the layer masks. You can go back in and make those edits without destroying anything. Okay, you are done. You are going to save this in your Creative Cloud, and then you are going to export this as a ping and save it to your Creative Clouds, and make sure that you give that version to me on Canvas.